Curriculum is one of the fastest ways homeschool moms lose confidence. Not because it's complicated, but because we ask it to carry a weight that it was never meant to bear. Today, I want to talk about how to think about curriculum clearly, calmly, and confidently without overthinking every decision or second-guessing yourself at every turn. Hey, homeschool mom. I'm Erica Sagert on the Intentional Homeschooler podcast with more actionable steps and encouragement for your homeschooling journey so you can confidently and intentionally homeschool your children without sacrificing your sanity. Grab a pen and paper, your favorite cup of brew, and let's get started. If you've ever found yourself staring at a curriculum website at 10 o'clock at night, tabs open everywhere, heart racing just a little, or if you've bought something, tried it for 2 weeks, and then quietly wondered, did I make a mistake? You are not alone. Curriculum is one of the most talked about topics in homeschooling and one of the most overthought. And I think that's because somewhere along the way, curriculum stopped being a tool and it started to feel like a test. So today, I want to slow this conversation way down. All right, first, I want you to remember that curriculum is a tool, not a teacher. One of the most freeing mindset shifts I've ever made as a homeschool mom was realizing this. Curriculum does not educate your child. You do. Curriculum is a tool. It's a support. It's structure, but it's not the boss of your homeschool. And it certainly isn't a measure of your worth as a mom or teacher. I remember early on feeling like if I could just find the right curriculum, everything would fall into place. Everything would be perfect. The lessons would flow. The kids would be engaged. I would finally feel confident. But what I learned, sometimes the hard way, is that no curriculum can replace clarity, consistency, or relationship. A beautifully designed program in the hands of a discouraged, exhausted mom will always struggle. A simple, imperfect curriculum in the hands of a confident, attentive mom can thrive. That's not permission to be careless, but it is permission to stop chasing perfection. The second point I want to bring home today is start with the child and the season. So before you look at all of the reviews, before you ask Facebook or ChatGPT, before you add anything else to your cart, you have to start here with this question. Who is this child and what season are we in? Not who they should be, not what someone else's child is doing, not what worked 5 years ago, but what is it now and what do they need and what season are we in? I've had seasons where I could manage a more robust program. And then there were seasons that those robust programs absolutely would have crushed our home. And both were legitimate seasons of homeschooling. Sometimes the most faithful choice is finding and choosing something simpler than you think it should be. Your child's maturity, their learning style, their confidence level, and their stamina matter. Your family rhythm matters. Your own capacity matters. And choosing curriculum that fits the season is not lowering the bar, it is being wise. So again, number 1, curriculum is a tool, not a teacher. Number 2, start with the child and the season. And number 3, overthinking comes from too many options. There are so many options out there, and it can be completely overwhelming. One of the biggest reasons homeschool moms overthink is simply that. There are too many choices, too many voices, too many opinions, too many must-haves. You must have this. Isn't this in just about every area of our life, whether it's how to eat, what type of kitchen to come up with when you're remodeling, what kind of food to buy? I mean, we're full of choices. So at some point, more information is going to stop being helpful, right? And it starts creating more anxiety. So overthinking comes from too many options, and we are just bombarded. You don't need 5 math programs. You don't need to redesign your entire homeschool every year. And you definitely don't need to switch curriculum every time someone online sounds confident about what they're doing. Confidence doesn't come from researching forever. It comes from choosing and moving forward. There is something deeply stabilizing about saying, this is what we're using right now, and we're going to give it a fair try. So yes, overthinking comes from too many options. So narrow those options down, stop looking, just decide and move on. Number 4, curriculum is adjustable, not permanent. So this might be the most important thing I say today. Choosing a curriculum is not a lifetime contract. You are allowed to adjust it. You can supplement it, set parts aside, or even change course when it's truly not working. So not only is it not a lifelong contract, but you do not have to follow it to a T. You can tailor it to what your family needs. I often encourage moms to think about it in 8 to 10 week blocks. So that gives you enough time to see patterns in the curriculum without feeling trapped. And here's the truth we don't say often enough. Even a curriculum that doesn't fully work is not a failure. It teaches you something about your child, about you, about what matters most in your homeschool. Nothing is wasted. Even if it ends up not working out, it wasn't wasted. You gathered information, you learned something through that experience. Point number 5, when overthinking is really fear. So many times in many areas of my life, but when I was homeschooling and trying to decide on curriculum, that overthinking was actually fear. The overthinking actually has nothing to do with the curriculum at all. It is fear, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of falling behind, the fear of being judged, the fear of discovering that you are not enough. And so we try to control outcomes with binders, plans, and programs. But, homeschooling was never meant to be about controlling every outcome. It's about faithful stewardship, daily obedience, and steady presence. Curriculum can support that, but it can't replace that. Okay, curriculum is not going to replace that stewardship that you bring, the daily obedience, and the steady presence. All right, point number 6, a personal reflection. All right, so one of the lessons God has gently taught me over time is this: peace doesn't come from having everything figured out. It comes from trusting God's ultimate plan. Really trusting in God's ultimate plan, and then moving forward with intention. Changing the things you can change, doing the things that you can do. But first, you have to trust God's plan and then move forward with intention. Some of my most meaningful homeschool moments happened when Some of my most meaningful homeschool moments happened with curriculum that was far from perfect, but with connection, consistency, and trust leading the way. So that is something that no catalog can sell you. Here's what I want you to do with this information this week. I want you to choose one subject, just one, Ask, is this serving our homeschool right now? If it mostly is, commit to it for the next 8 to 10 weeks. Stop tweaking it, stop comparing, and just observe your child, not social media. Clarity grows when we give things time. Curriculum does not need to carry the weight of your homeschool. You don't need to master everything. You don't need to do this perfectly. You just need clarity, consistency, and the courage to move forward. You're not behind. You are building something step by step. So you want to homeschool, but you don't know where to start. Or you're already homeschooling and you just need a new perspective. I want to invite you to book a free coaching call with me. Sometimes you don't need to start over. You just need a little wind in your sails and a few new ideas. On that call, we will talk through homeschooling as a whole, whether you're new to homeschooling or as a seasoned homeschool mom. I will show you how my course, Charting Your Homeschool course, helps moms homeschool with clarity, confidence, and intention. You can book that free call in the show notes. Go do it today. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and right here where a brand new episode drops every other Thursday. Until next time, you've got this, Mom.